What's going on, everybody? Uncle Filthy, and welcome back to the Media Hub. We continue the Elm Street Revisited series. Today we're taking a look at what I think is one of the more, I don't want to say often discussed nightmare films, but it's definitely one of the ones that I think people have the most passionate views on. That's going to be Freddy's Dead. It's dumb. It's fun. It's Freddy's Dead. Let's go.
Stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep. I'm so scared.
So Freddy's Dead, as we all know, is the 6th entry of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. This one's pretty much despised across the board by fans. There's a few people who might have a bit of fond appreciation for it, but I don't think there's anyone who's screaming from the rooftops that Freddy's Dead is their favorite of the franchise. Yeah, Freddy's Dead is one I didn't really realize that people hated until, sort of after looking on the internet and, around the time that I started to watch, around the time I first saw 3 and 4, I think, is when I started to notice that, oh, people don't like Freddy's Dead. That's kind of interesting, because growing up, I didn't hate this one. I remember renting it one time, and I didn't hate it. It was actually a lot of fun, but it was like 8 or 9, so you can sort of do the math there. I remember seeing it after Freddy vs. Jason, so I was very well aware of sort of the fun idea of Freddy Krueger, him being sort of a comical individual as opposed to just the scary boogeyman who comes at you in your dreams. So this one, at the time I first saw it, didn't really irritate me. Now, over the years, and having watched all the other Nightmare films, this one sort of drifted down to the bottom just a little bit. Gonna break this one down into 3 different categories, I guess. We'll take a look at the bad, the good, and then everything else. We'll start off with the bad. Narratively, this one just feels disconnected from the first 5. You have the time jump that takes place 10 years later. It just doesn't really give us any characters to latch onto that we know from the previous films. I know there are fan theories out there that, hey, maybe there is some connection. Again, Lost Legends TV is one that I've been sort of giving shout outs to when I borrow his theories. He brought up one interesting thought that I really liked. John Doe character, is that Jacob? I don't know. But that's kind of an interesting thought to sort of think about. Another one of the big complaints is that this one's in the realm of parody. And yes, this is where you've got Freddy doing the Wizard of Oz thing.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul, too!
Running around like Wile E. Coyote. He's having more fun than he is being scary, so I can see why that irritates people. A lot of folks say that this one has Freddy being made fun of. I don't know so much that the film's making fun of Freddy, it's just they know that they're making the last film, so they might as well just have fun with it. Not the choice I would have made, but I wasn't the one who made it. And I want to know, just speaking within the canon, how was Freddy having a kid overlooked? I just feel like that's something that, it just feels a little shoehorned in here. I know that's kind of what it was, but it would have been, I don't know, it just feels like something that, instead of bringing in some of the surviving characters that are left, Alice and Jacob most notably, they decided to bring in, oh, Freddy has a kid. It was a dumb choice. It would have been much better off had Alice and or Jacob returned. I think elements of the backstory are just a little overdone. I sort of praised 3 and 5 for giving us just that right amount of sort of mystique going on with Freddy's backstory. Here it kind of gives us a little too much. And yeah, we all know Freddy's an unhinged fucking nutcase, but this one just sort of overexplores that. Granted, I do like some of the choices they make there, whether it's Alice Cooper as Freddy's stepdad.
You ready for it, boy? You've been away since the day I took you in. Now it's time to take your medicine. Thank you, sir.
Seeing him in the classroom, that was serviceable. The acting throughout the film is mostly, well, not good. I don't want to say awful, but it was definitely on that not good level. Especially the John Doe character, that just feels like it was a bit overdone.
Nothing is gonna make me get off this bed. Damn it! I know why you let me go.
Oh, do you think I'm your daddy?
Breckenmeyer, I can't really complain about his performance because he's playing the sort of stoner character, so it makes sense for his nonchalance.
Sorry I'm staying awake without you lighting up every 10 seconds.
This relaxes me.
I can relax you with these 2 fingers. I'll just puncture your heart. Mess up these seats.
You need to get laid.
Lisa Zane, though, fucking Christ, is she wooden in this film as Maggie, Freddy's daughter, by the way.
Daddy, I remember when we used to hold hands together when I was a kid. I didn't like it then either.
Those are really the main things, though, that I find to be the bad in Freddy's Dead. Going on to the good. It's going to be a relatively short list. It's fun. It's not boring, where I find myself sort of wanting to play with my phone when I'm watching The Dream Child. I can't really say the same with Freddy's Dead. This is one where I'm engaged a little bit more. Sure, I might be making fun of the movie, talking shit at the TV while it's playing, but this one's engaging by comparison to Dream Child, so I gotta give it props there. I do like a lot of the music also in this film, whether it's the choices they make in the score or the original soundtrack, just songs that they feature in the film. I don't know, this one has some pretty good music in it. I really like the opening song, which I found out today just bringing in clips for the video that was the Goo Goo Dolls. Never would have guessed. But I really like the Iggy Pop song that closes out the film. One of the other great things in here, Yaphet Kotto. Him as Doc, he's kind of him and Robert Englund are like the 2 strongest performances in the film. I think it would have been cooler if the movie had focused on him a little bit more. It would have been a bit of a wrench in the cogs of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And one thing I was wondering when watching this and watching 3 and 4, could Doc be Kincaid's dad? Could he be Dr. Kincaid? They do look just a little bit alike, Ken Sagos and Yaphet Kotto. Their facial structures are pretty similar there. It would also make sense in the context of the story that, hey, my kid suffered through these nightmares where he ended up dying from it. It would make sense that he goes on to be a dream therapist. Kind of like how I wondered, did Nancy create Hypnosil, or help to create Hypnosil? But there's a slight resemblance there. Granted, this one's also not primarily set in Springwood.
This is in Springwood?
Every town has an Elm Street.
It sort of fabricates a sense of connective tissue with the previous films. Alright, so we did the good, we did the bad. Let's talk about everything else. The kills, they're silly in this film. They're not great, but they're not great. But the Carlos kill, I think, is going to be the standout here just because it's the most, it feels like it's the most in line with Freddy as sort of, you know, Freddy the Dream Killer. When it comes to Spencer's kill, I don't know if that's better or worse than Mark's kill in the last film. I still gotta sort of feel that one out a little bit, but it borders on that same level of silliness. And John Doe's kill, hey, Acme just called, they want their products back. Again, I think this film probably would have been stronger too had it followed Alice and Jacob from the previous film, just to sort of see how they're surviving in Springwood. There's a few other cool ideas that this film could have had. I forget if it was for Freddy's Dead or if it was for something after this. Yeah, if it was Freddy's Dead or Freddy vs. Jason, I can't remember for certain, but the Peter Jackson storyline that he had. That would have been pretty cool, where people are going into the dream to... People would intentionally fall asleep to go kick Freddy's ass. That would have been pretty cool to see. And then Freddy accidentally kills one of them, gets stronger. I would have liked that. Again, to piggyback off what I was saying about this one not being sort of a slog to get through, the front-loaded humor is what makes this one a lot of fun to watch. Again, the sheer stupidity and silliness of the humor, it just sort of keeps you engaged in a particular way, whether you like it or you don't. You find yourself still sucked into the film just enough to not turn it off. The Ghost Town Springwood, I think, was a really cool idea. I think that should have been focused on just a little bit more, because the approach of that was really interesting, because you see the toll that Freddy has taken on the community, where there are no more kids, you just got all these adults who don't know what to do, they have no more purpose, and they've just kind of lost their fucking minds. That was a cool idea. That could have and should have been explored a little bit more. I just found that particularly interesting. I really like the also when the kids are trying to get out of Springwood and they're just kind of going in circles. I don't know, just the way Freddy's like, yep, nope, you're staying here now. And the classroom too. The classroom scene was really wild. But yes, as you guys know, it was a little over 5 years ago that I first went through the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Let's take a look back to 2020. What were the filthy features for Freddy's Dead? Let's roll the tape.
As far as favorite dream goes, I honestly hated just about every single fucking dream sequence in this film, but I'm going to default with the Carlos, I asked you for the map sequence. I mean, it's just because I find Carlos to be an enjoyable character. Now, spotting Bob Shea. Never have I been so pissed to see Bob Shea show his face in a Nightmare on Elm Street film. He even wears a nifty little disguise as the ticket vendor in John Doe's opening Nightmare, trying to sell him a bus ticket or a ticket to fucking back to reality. Oh yeah, that was spotting Shea. As far as the Freddy Quipper goes, guess what? Again, something I absolutely hate everything about in this film. Not one of Freddy's lines stand out to me as fun. So I'm going to say fuck Freddy's quips. I'm going to give this one again to my man Carlos with, yeah, well the map says we're fucked.
So yeah guys, Freddy's Dead, it's definitely one that I think most Nightmare fans would consider the worst. I don't know if I would go all out and call it the worst Nightmare film. There's maybe one that I think sort of takes the cake on that just over this one. But I find Freddy's Dead to be a fun time. It's not a great film, it's not the best in the series of course, but it's one that I have fun with. I enjoy watching it. It doesn't irritate me like it did 5 years ago. I remember I really tore into that one. But, you know, thinking about the entertainment value of it, that's sort of where I measure this against Dream Child. Freddy's Dead's fun. I don't know what else to say. It's stupid, it's fun. That's Freddy's Dead. So at the end of the day, guys, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare is going to receive 2 Bouncy Breckin Myers out of 5. So that was my look back at Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, guys. This one was actually a surprising bit of fun to sort of go back and rewatch. It doesn't irritate me so much anymore. It's definitely enjoyable, especially coming off the heels of the previous film. I think I beat that into the ground pretty well. But what do you guys think about Freddy's Dead? Do you hate it? Do you have fun with it, even if it is sort of ironic fun? Let me know all that down below. Play with those other icons, do what you gotta do there. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
No screaming while the bus is in motion.